Welcome back, Truth Seekers. Super Bowl 54 is set. It is the Joe Montana Bowl officially. Of course, Joe Montana played for the 49ers and Chiefs. Alex Smith also played for the 49ers and Chiefs and was drafted ahead of Aaron Rodgers, who got humiliated today. And you might recall last NFL season, one of the biggest stories was the 33-year coincidence of Alex Smith getting his leg broken on the same hash mark that Joe Theismann did as a member of the Redskins. This year's Super Bowl is on the 33rd day of the year, and I'm going to show you how Alex Smith's broken leg is even perfectly synced with this Super Bowl, which is very strange. But just to hit you with the big one, and here, we'll just go to it right now. The scores in today's games: the Chiefs beat the Titans 35-24, 59 points. We'll talk a lot more about that. And the 49ers defeated the Packers 37-20, 57 combined points, which is absolutely hilarious because they played 57 days before this game, and I told people last weekend that the safest parlay last weekend was the 49ers to beat the Vikings and the Packers to beat the Seahawks, so that the 49ers and Packers could play 57 days later, what is the championship number in the NFC Championship. So, of course, you get a 57-point game 57 days later. But 59 points in the Chiefs game, 57 points in the Niners game. That's 116 combined points. And look at Joe Montana's birthday. June 11th. 11/6, like 116. From the upcoming Super Bowl to his birthday is 131 days. Remember, 131, the other championship number. When you write out 57 as a word, it's 131, like championship, like Super Bowl. So this is the Joe Montana Bowl. It's synced up with his 64th birthday. Kansas City Chiefs equals 64. The Super Bowl will be 64 weeks on the nose after Patrick Mahomes beat Len Dawson's 64 touchdown passing record. Len Dawson still alive. Going to turn 85 right after the Super Bowl. National Football League 85, like how Bart Starr died at 85, who Len Dawson faced in Super Bowl I. So again, let's hammer it all here. Let's hammer it all, and let me make sure we're broadcasting clearly. Okay, here we go. So the Chiefs advanced to the Super Bowl with 35 points. Go back to Super Bowl I. The Packers beat the Chiefs with 35 points. Some interesting 35 connections. QB equals 35, Super Bowl equals 35, football equals 35. But with regards to the 59 combined points, remember, ESPN called this the year of the black quarterback. And again, they had Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs quarterback, in there, and Lamar Jackson, right? So 59 combined points, that's the number stamped all over Black History. Again, Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. Motown Records came out in 59 and a million other things. Negro Slave, Blues Rasta, all 59 in Gematria. Remember, Lamar Jackson, Week 1, played in Miami where the Super Bowl will be, and he scored 59 points. There's also this story. The very first story we covered this year that we saw was a fake news story, completely made up crap, that was synced with the NFL story that brought together the Packers and the Texans initially. It was about a black man in an Aaron Rodgers jersey shooting a white firefighter. Talked about it a lot all throughout the year. They called this guy the Gunslinger. Gunslinger has that Gematria 54 in both reduction ciphers, like how it's the year of Super Bowl 54. But this story was from May 15th, 2019, a date with 59 numerology. Again, a black man, 59. Rodgers, Mahomes. This story was out of Appleton, Wisconsin. This year was the Packers' 99th season playing in the NFL. Appleton's 99, Patrick Mahomes Jr.'s 99. Patrick Mahomes' full name, Patrick LaVon Mahomes II, is 99. Arrowhead Stadium's 99. Remember last year, Tom Brady got his 99th career away win, defeating the Chiefs in Arrowhead to advance to the Super Bowl to win the 99th season. New England's 99, by the way. Anyhow, this year, Patrick Mahomes, in the year of the black QB, gets his vengeance And with regards to Rodgers, who lost today, and Mahomes, remember, all year they've been in these State Farm commercials, right? And the latest commercial, or one of the latest commercials in this ongoing series, was titled Gabe's Worst Nightmare. Now, if anybody DVR'd the game, I really would love you to go back and watch the beginning when they show Aaron Rodgers come out of the locker room. Go back and look at that. Just before the game began, they show Aaron Rodgers come out of the locker room. The camera follows him down the tunnel. It looked like one of a few things that happened to Aaron Rodgers. It looked like either someone had told him his mother just died, or that if he didn't purposefully lose the game, his mother was going to be murdered, or he was going to be neutered, or something even worse. Aaron Rodgers looked like a ghost. He looked miserable, and I just thought right there, what is wrong with Aaron Rodgers? It looks like somebody just told him the script, and he does not like it. Aaron Rodgers ended up down 27-0 at halftime. That was the score, 27-0. And notice what one of the latest commercials was. It was called Gabe's Worst Nightmare. Again, this State Farm series with Mahomes and Rodgers. Gabe's Worst Nightmare, and everything in the commercial was red. Like the 49ers wear red, like the Chiefs wear red. Red in Gematria, 3-letter word, easy. R's the 18th letter, E's the 5th, D's the 4th, 18 plus 5 plus 4, 27. Miami equals 27 using the alphabetic order and rules of numerology. So we get this all-red Super Bowl. Gabe's Worst Nightmare. So the agent in this commercial, his name is Gabe. Gabe equals 15. Today's games were on a 15-date numerology. Patrick Mahomes wears the number 15. Today he made the Titans 1-5 in conference championships. Titans fell to 1-5 against the Chiefs, number 15. And the 49ers put it on Aaron Rodgers, who clearly did not like the script coming out of the locker room. And Aaron Rodgers, had a horrible game. Horrible. Turnover. Anyway, some comical stats from the box scores. In the Chiefs game, on 27 rushing attempts, they had 112 yards, right? Chiefs equals 112. Super Bowl's 112. We talked about today before the game on Gematria Effect Sports Open to the Public, how in this concluding season of Ballers, which concluded with the 47th episode, The Rock, who's 47 years old, is the star. He's 47 years old right now. Rock equals 47. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th NFL season between the Chiefs and Niners. In this season, The Rock buys the Chiefs, right? And this season concluded October 13th, 112 days before the Super Bowl. And the show's called Ballers. The singular baller is 112. And again, The Rock was connected to the 49ers. We just saw The Rock's father die at age 75. It's the 49ers' 75th season. They last won the Super Bowl in the 75th NFL season, and they advanced to that Super Bowl on January 15th in history, which is the day this year that The Rock's father died at age 75. And again, The Rock's been having the bromance with the tight end of the Niners, George Kittle. But anyway, The Rock also had the Titan games, which made things very confusing. But again, the reason they structured so much around The Rock this year is because he played college football at Miami, where the Super Bowl is. So they did that. And The Rock's character name in the show is Spencer Strasmore, which equals 98, like Kansas City Chiefs. See how they do it? See how they do it? Remember, The Rock's father also, again, died on the day that they announced the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. And then that ceremony will be May 2nd, which is also The Rock's birthday. Ugh. Okay, so now the Packers and Niners game. 49ers beat the Packers with 37 points. Packers equals 37. Again, 57 combined points. They beat the Packers earlier this year with 37 points as well. Again, the last game was November 24th, a span of 57 days from today. 57 combined points. Last week told people the safest parlay, Niners to win, Packers to win. It's destined that they're going to play each other 57 days later. Again, the championship number in the NFC Championship. 57 has the relationship with championship like Super Bowl. Don't forget things like World Series and NBA Finals equal 57. These numbers come together all the time in championships. And like we talked about, this was a very possible scenario, 49ers and Chiefs. It would be the Joe Montana Bowl, coming 131 days from his birthday, which is exactly what's happened. And again, you have 116 combined points in today's games. Joe Montana's birthday is 11/6, June 11th. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in NFL history. And let us not forget that Joe Montana did win Super Bowl 19. Super Bowl 19. This is the 2019-2020 season. And he beat Miami, where the Super Bowl is this year. And the score was 38-16, 54 combined points. Did you like how the 49ers' first field goal today was a 54-yarder and their last was a 42? 49ers equals 42, and they always got to have a 42 in the Super Bowl that black quarterbacks appear in. Again, Doug Williams, the only Super Bowl winning quarterback that was black, won with 42 points with the Washington Redskins. Russell Wilson played for the Seahawks in Washington State, the 42nd state. Seahawks equals 42. Now Mahomes, who has a chance to win, could defeat the 49ers, which equals 42. And again, they called this the year of the black quarterback. It's a span of 42 years since Doug Williams was drafted into the NFL. And with regards to Patrick Mahomes, the black quarterback, his full name equals 333. This year, the Super Bowl's on the 33rd day of the year, leaving 333 days remaining. And I'm going to be turning over a lot of stones on Patreon to figure out who will win this Super Bowl. But just to throw you a freebie, it is a Super Bowl on February 2nd, 2-2. So we know 2 is important. The Chiefs could win their second Super Bowl as the 2 seed, and the 49ers could lose their second Super Bowl. If that did happen, Andy Reid would get his 222nd career win. And there's a few more things, but that's enough freebies. Anyhow, with regards to Alex Smith, again, last year we were just so mind-boggled by the gigantic ritual of Alex Smith breaking his leg on the 322nd day of the year. There were so many layers to that onion, and we had so many conversations about it. Was it staged? I mean, it didn't look staged. I didn't see it live. I saw the replay. People did point out that they could have edited the replay to make it look more gruesome. Possible. But it was just such a weird play. Alex Smith busts his leg on the 33-year anniversary to the day of Joe Theismann busting his leg with the Redskins. And there was a major parallel between J.J. Watt, who got Alex Smith, and Lawrence Taylor, who got Joe Theismann. Have to go back and again peel the onion one more time. But J.J. Watt's birthday is March 22nd, 322, like how it happened on the 322nd day of the year. Anyhow, that happened with the Redskins. Alex Smith played for the 49ers, the Chiefs, and then the Redskins. And Redskins has that Gematria 54. He busted his leg 441 days before the Super Bowl. That has a square root of 21. And 49ers does also have Gematria of 21. By the way, Alex Smith's birthday is May 7th. 5-7, again with the 57 points. His former team's now meeting in the Super Bowl. Okay. Remember, 322, that's the number of Yale Skull and Bones. American football is credited to Walter Camp, the Scottish Rite Freemason who went to Yale and probably was a member of Skull and Bones. And with regards to Alex Smith's birthday, May 7th, it can be written 7-5, like how this is the 49ers' 75th season. Again, they won the Super Bowl in the 75th NFL season over the Chargers. The 49ers won 49-26, 75 combined points. Don't forget NFL, Super Bowl, America, Scottish, they're all 49. Okay. So the 49ers and Chiefs, the last time they played each other was September 23rd, 18. Remember, the NFL, just in future years, remember, they really like September 23rd for NFL rituals. A couple years ago, the year of Super Bowl 52, we were able to nail the Super Bowl dead on because of the ritual that went down with Donald Trump that day versus the NFL. I said, there it is. We knew it was the Patriots. Now we know it's the Eagles versus the Patriots for the Super Bowl. Donald Trump took on the NFL over the flag protesters that day. 23/9, like how the flag was sewn at 239 Arch Street. 239 is the 52nd prime. That was the year of Super Bowl 52. 49ers has the Gematria 52 as well. So, some interesting things about that date. But, this is the day leaving 99 days left in the year as well. And that was during the 99th NFL season. And again, Patrick Mahomes has the 99 connections. Anyhow, from that date to the Super Bowl is 71 weeks, the 20th prime. Have you guys seen the top story on CNN right now? Top story on CNN is about a singer who dropped dead on stage at age 71 yesterday. Well, the news is today, but this happened yesterday, January 18th, 118, death, homicide 118. But again, just 71, the 20th prime. We're seeing a lot of these numbers in 2020 already. Again, I said it'd be a bad year for musicians. You know the 118 gonna get you. And with regards to this news breaking today, just on a side note, today is January 19th, 119. Remember, arsenic, what's been used to kill people without a trace throughout history, abbreviated AS. A is the first letter, S is the 19th, 119. So, anyway, these teams last met 71 weeks before today. All things we covered on Patreon before the game was played. Clues, 20th prime, 2020 Super Bowl. Very possible. But again, realize, I've been very torn this year. At the beginning of the season, I gave people about 4 or 5 futures. One of them was 49ers and Chiefs. And the reason why is because Super Bowl 54 is the 50th of the modern era. Chiefs is 50, San Francisco's 50. Remember, they hosted Super Bowl 50. And the last time they played each other was also a date with 50 numerology. Yesterday, really good call on the Patreon from a caller. He said that he really liked 49ers Chiefs for what I've been pointing out in recent years. The synchronicities between Donald Trump and the Super Bowls. And he goes, think about it. Donald's 50, Chiefs 50, San Francisco 50. He said, right now, the big political story is Nancy Pelosi from San Francisco versus Donald Trump in the whole impeachment fiasco. And by the way, Donald equals 50 with the alphabetic order, 112 with the reverse alphabetic order. Same as Chiefs. Chiefs is 50 with the alphabetic order, 112 with the reverse. If Donald Trump's going to beat the impeachment, what does that mean for the Super Bowl? Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco versus the Chief, Donald Trump. And if you think it is a coincidence, think twice, because from the Super Bowl to Trump's upcoming birthday is 133 days. Just like how the Niners and Chiefs went 13-3 in the season. President 133, White House 133, government 133, football 133. Remember when Trump was running for office, we pointed out in 2015 that he might be the next rig selection because they reported he was the 133rd richest man in the nation at the first debate when they were narrowing down the Republican field from 1 million candidates. And then Fox News made a big deal about his 133rd appearance on Fox. It's like, who's counting? Why such a big deal about 133? Again, you got to know Gematria. Gematria, a subject that most coincidence theorists dismiss out of pure ignorance. What was funny is, maybe you guys have heard me talk about my new buddy that I made in the time I've been living in this little town in Washington. I got a text message that I caught one day. It said, hey, do you work out at Planet Fitness in Yakima? And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, I sure do. So I text this guy back. I said, I do. What's up? He goes, I thought I've seen you a few times there. He's like, I didn't want to come up to you and bother you, but I thought it was you. And he just couldn't believe that I lived in the same town as him. But anyway, him and I have become friends. I call him King Henry. But anyhow, I went over and watched some of the games with him. I don't have the TV going here anymore, but he still got the TV. So I went over and watched the game with him, and I was telling him this story about San Francisco and how I had when I go to that city, I just feel like I'm supposed to live there. And I started feeling this way long before I knew Gematria. In fact, I haven't even been to San Francisco in the whole time I've been doing this research, but just whenever I go there, it's just so magical for me. And then I realized that San Francisco equals 202 in Gematria. And my birthday, July 21st, happens to be the 202nd day of the year. Well, anyway, after like an hour later after telling that story, they put up this stat when Raheem Mostert, they put up this stat on the screen when he hit the mark. He got to 202 rushing yards, and they bolded it and made the print gold on the screen and showed how he'd hit a new 49er rushing record in the playoffs at 202 yards. And I said, isn't that funny, man? And by the way, we talked about a bunch of numbers that just kept coming up on the screen today before they even... It is like this way every week when you know the numbers for the thing. But anyway, he just thought that was funny. He's like, hey, you were just telling that story about 202, and then there it is. But anyway, San Francisco 202, he finished the game with 220 rushing yards. National Football League's 220, and of course he's going to the Super Bowl on 2-2. And when this was going on, when he was dominating the game, by the way, they had 42 rushing attempts, 49ers 42. But when this was going on, I was like, I got to look up this guy. Oh, by the way, Jimmy Garoppolo only had 77 passing yards to beat Green Bay. Remember, Bart Starr died 77 days from the establishment of the Packers, but Jimmy Garoppolo 77, Green Bay 77. We've been talking about Jimmy Garoppolo in 77 since his debut in the NFL when he beat the Cardinals as a 13.5-point underdog in Arizona. And you might recall that season. That was the year of Super Bowl 51. In the preseason, I was riding the Colts hard, but when we did the decode, which I did for the public, I said, God, Jimmy Garoppolo's birthday is November 2nd. The Patriots are starting their season in Arizona on the 112th meridian, 112, Super Bowl 112. And there was all this other alignment with Jimmy G, him making that start. And I was like, God, is it going to be another... Am I wrong about the Colts? Is it going to be another Patriots Super Bowl? And then sure enough, just after a few more rituals, by week 3, I was like, shit, I think I'm wrong about the Colts. I'm pretty sure the Patriots will win the Super Bowl this year. And sure enough, they did by the numbers over the Falcons. Anyway, we've been talking about Jimmy G in 77 from that game pretty much to every game he's ever played forward. So how comical that he throws 70... These are his stats, you guys. These are Jimmy G's passing stats. I mean, come on. You won this. You went to the Super Bowl with these kind of stats. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, 77 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo, 77. Green Bay, 77. When you write out 77, it's 49 like the 49ers. And the 49ers running back who had the field day with all these yards. Look at his birthday. April 9th, 4-9. That is the 100th day of the year in leap years, which we're in, and this is the 100th NFL season. And then Jimmy G's 11-2, 1-1-2. He's going to face the Chiefs. Chiefs 1-1-2, Super Bowl 1-1-2. So, again, it's just... I mean, it was a very difficult season. To our credit, this was one of the... I know I put out about 5 scenarios for the Super Bowl this year, which is nothing to write home about, but I know this was like the 4th or 5th one I came up with, and we did it in week 3. Said, oh, you might want to put a future in for the 49ers and Chiefs. It could be this whole 50 thing, Joe Montana. And what I do got to say is my dad is a very happy man right now because he's always been a 49er fan first, but his favorite team in the AFC has always been the Chiefs. And I talked to my dad, and he's like... I really want to... My dad just loves sports. I really want to see the 49ers and Chiefs. So I know somewhere he's really happy right now. And even though it kind of makes me sad he's so into rig sports, even after all this, it's in another way, it's like, well, at least my dad got what he wanted. Okay, now let's just watch this commercial here because again. We saw from the beginning of the season, the first scenario we came up with, because just the way they love to shove the obvious down your throat, The first scenario we came up with that had both teams from each conference was, God, are they going to do it to us? Super Bowl I rematch, Packers, Chiefs, with this whole State Farm commercial. Well, we were right to see that the State Farm commercial was a big clue, and what I should have done a better job about was thinking about this Red Nightmare commercial, because this was it. It was the Red Nightmare for Aaron Rodgers, and I saw it on his face when he came out of the locker room to start the game. So here, let's just watch this commercial real quick. Get the volume up here. Here we go.
Today's attendance, 19,000 State Farm agents.
Go for State Farm. Well, lucky Who do you play for, Mahomes? State Farm. State Farm. One more time. State Farm.
And that's when I always wake up. What does it mean?
Clearly, it means you should combine your home and auto with State Farm.
That's a weird interpretation.
Hold up. It's too small, I'm sure, for you guys to see that, but you see this agent's name that they put down here? Oh my God, his name's even Patrick. Patrick Minnis. P-A... Here, I'll make it bigger. That'll help. Patrick Minnis. Let's just run the... I didn't catch that until just now. Goodness gracious, man. I gotta run the Gematria. I know Patrick's 33, like he's playing on the 33rd day of the year. Patrick's also 78, like San Francisco 49ers is 78. Okay, Patrick Minnis. What do I see here? Okay, you see the 156 and 66? If you write out 33, it's 156 and 66. The Super Bowl's on the 33rd day of the year. 87, that's a tight end number. I'm not sure about 195. Oh, wow. Minnis is 78 and 33. This game... 78 and 33, just like Patrick. Huh. Patrick Minnis. C in red. Nightmares. It was all in the State Farm commercials. Unbelievable. All right. Oh, here are a couple more things we can talk about. At the beginning of the year, we talked a lot about this on Patreon. You know how 112 ended up being the big number? You see how they emphasized in this story, Year of the Black QB, they make the game exciting. You see that 112, like Super Bowl, like Chiefs. 383 is the 76th prime. San Francisco does have the 76 connection, but they don't have a black quarterback. Also, something else that I talked about at the beginning of the year is when they announced Shakira and J-Lo for the Super Bowl halftime show. Shakira's name... Shakira, who will have her... She'll turn 43 the day of the Super Bowl. Football equals 43. What we talked about in her name, here you can see it in the notes, is... this was it, too. I mean, this was it. I mean, I had it here. I mean, this is why we had these scenarios. But you see her name, 67, 31, 122, 50. You see it? San Francisco equals 122 and 50. Kansas City equals 122. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, Kansas City does equal 50 if you use the rules with S. Chiefs is 31 and 50. Kansas City is also 61. Here, let me just show you. San Francisco, 122.50. Kansas City is 122 and 67. Again, you see it? 122.50, 67, 19th prime. That commercial said 19,000 State Farm agents in attendance. But there's always the rule with S, too. Remember, S is the special letter. S is worth 1 or 10, so Kansas City does have that connection to 50 as well. And, again, 50th Super Bowl of the modern era. And then the 31. You know, 31 was the guy for the 49ers that ran the ball all over the place today. Now he's going to face the Chiefs. So, it was here all along. What day did I write this? September 26, 2019. I'll tell you what, if you would have put futures down on all 5 of my futures, obviously 4 would have not helped, but you still, you know, as early as we were in the season, like we were saying this stuff around September 26th, had you done that, you would have come out ahead, because all the futures would have paid better than 5-1. So I don't even know what the odds were on 49ers Chiefs at the time, but I would imagine it was something like at least 15-1. So, oh boy, Shakira. They did it with the Shakira. Okay, in here, let's just read a little bit. Right away, they put out the odds. Let's just see what they're saying. So we'll read this together. I don't even know what it says yet. The Kansas City Chiefs... Here, I'll make it bigger so you can read it too. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the San Francisco 49ers in the 2020 Super Bowl. The Chiefs opened a 2.5-point favorite in Super Bowl spread, and the over-under is set at 52.5 per OddsShark. The line quickly moved towards the Niners, and Chiefs are now just a 1.5-point favorite. The Chiefs came away with a double-digit victory over the red-hot Titans. One of the concerns heading into the AFC Championship was how the Chiefs would contain running back Derrick Henry. And I mean, that's just the joke of the NFL. Derrick Henry just ran over the two best defenses in the AFC all season, and then the Chiefs, who don't have a very good defense, he couldn't really run the ball against. But Kansas City was able to hold the rusher to under 100 yards. The Chiefs' slow starts continue to be an area of weakness. Kansas City quickly trailed by double digits for the second straight week, but it was not of the epic proportions. By the way, the Titans got up 17-7 on a pass from 17 to 71. It was looking good for the Titans at that point. Again, who had this sync with Remember the Titans, who won the high school championship in 71. But it was not of the epic proportions that happened against the Texans in the divisional round. The Chiefs will find it much more difficult to dig out of another hole against a defense like the 49ers that is one of the best units in the NFL. But by the way, I should just throw this in there. All year they've been talking about the college rituals with Bosa, the rookie for the 49ers who wears the number 97. And remember, there's a sync with the college championship in NFL. Bosa played at Ohio State like Burrow did before he went to LSU. Bosa wears the number 97. Burrow equals 97. The coach at LSU, Orgeron, equals 97. So there's something going on there with that. Anyway, just like on the football field, the Chiefs have impressed in Vegas, going 13-5 against the spread this season, per OddsShark. Kansas City's games have slightly trended towards the over, with 10 out of their 18 matchups going beyond the point total. Heading into the Super Bowl, the 49ers have gone 11-6-1 against the spread. The point total has trended slightly towards the over in Niners game at 9-8-1. The Super Bowl sets up an epic matchup between the Chiefs offense versus 49ers defense. Fans should be in for an exciting Super Bowl matchup featuring the explosive Chiefs offense against a Niners defense that has been shutting down opponents for the majority of the season. Nick Bosa, that's number 97, and the Niners pass rush will be looking to get pressure on Mahomes, but the challenge is the Chiefs quarterback can hurt teams with his legs. The Titans learned this the hard way on Mahomes' touchdown run to give the Chiefs the lead at the end of the first half. San Francisco also has a solid secondary led by veteran cornerback Richard Sherman. The former member of the Seahawks, Legion of Boom, proved this season that he has not lost a step and has played in multiple Super Bowls, which should help the Niners in their preparation leading up to the game. Sherman will have had his hands full against a talented Chiefs receiving unit. The Niners will look to lean on their rushing attack against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense is arguably the weakest unit in the Super Bowl. For the majority of the season, the Chiefs' defense has struggled against the run, but not today, but have improved during the postseason. San Francisco poses a problem because they have multiple backs that opponents must prepare for, as each rusher has thrived at different points this season. Oh, by the way, the Niners coach Kyle Shanahan, his dad won Super Bowl 33, Broncos over Falcons. Now he plays on the 33rd day of the year, and the Super Bowl's 50 days after his birthday. Again, it's the 50th Super Bowl of the modern era. Kansas City and Chiefs both equal 50, and so does San Francisco. Niners coach Kyle Shanahan has used a hot hand approach this season, riding the running back who plays the best during each game. Tevin Coleman... Okay, did anyone see that injury to Tevin Coleman during the 49ers game? He hurt his wrist, and then he couldn't move anywhere, just playing with his wrist on the field. and they had to cart him off. And I was like, what is this shit? His wrist is so hurt that he can't walk? Come on. Tevin Coleman sustained an injury against the Packers, so it will be interesting to keep an eye on his Super Bowl status. The Chiefs will lean on their aerial attack, which also is hard to defend. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill lead a deep group of offensive weapons for the Chiefs. Mahomes has utilized nearly every receiver on their roster at some point this season. It is strength versus strength in an exciting Super Bowl matchup between the Niners and Chiefs. Okay, well, I'm sure all the clues are in Joe Montana's history, so if you want to do your homework, you can join us on Patreon. We'll be talking a lot about the Super Bowl up to it. Or I would research Joe Montana, because it is all about Joe. And remember last year the Super Bowl clue in the offseason was Joe Montana too. Tom Brady seeing a bear in the Montana woods. Oh boy. Alright, you guys. Also, I did see that we eclipsed $1,500 on the campaign to go down and educate LSU and New Orleans about the murder rituals for this year's rigged college championship, educate about Zion Williamson coming to the city, and a bunch of other relevant things. So tonight I will be booking the flight to Louisiana. Tomorrow I'll be doing a video to let you know when I'm going to be touching down in Louisiana. For the people who want to connect and get in touch and help with the campaign down there, again, the 509 number's out there, and would absolutely love it if people help me out while I'm down there, so I'm not just a one-man team. But that'll be tomorrow's video, letting you know what dates I've set. Going to think about it a little bit, see what seems to be the smartest plan of action. But super excited about this, and again, thank you to everyone who supported that campaign. Still trying to hit the goal of 2,000, but I think I can get it done at 1,500. I know at 2,000 I can for sure. It's actually going to cost me more than that because I have to buy some other stuff. I have to get a decent camera, something I don't have right now. I got to print some materials, get some clothes, some merchandise. So if you guys can help me hit the 2,000 all the way, that'll be awesome. But tomorrow, whether we're at 2,000 or not, I'm going to let you know what day we'll be touching down. And for all of you guys saying things like I shouldn't be announcing what days I'm going to be there because I should be worried for my life and all that, I'm not living that way, you guys. You know, I have been messed with for doing this work, but it's been by cowards. There are people who fucked with my house when I wasn't there, and I think that's the way these people roll, you know. I don't feel like I have to live in fear of them. I didn't sign my life on the line anywhere. I've never made any deals with these people, you know. I am a thorn in their side, but again, I think they're cowards, and I think they, you know, they do things like they mess with your house when you're not there. So anyway, all will be well, Truth Seeker. Be back tomorrow with the exciting updates. And if you haven't helped out with that campaign yet, again, just a few more people chip in 5. We'll be all the way to the target. And again, those few extra bucks could help. So appreciate all of you. And we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. I'll see you tomorrow.